Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here with my continuing playthrough and look at the World Ablaze mod for Hearts of Iron 4. Now, this is basically a total conversion. Still keep actually making it more historical than the base game. And I like that. Not that everyone needs to like it. I just do. Right. And we have both some bonuses here, it looks like, to get some of this stuff done. Okay. Unlock that. And now here, this is Combined Warfare. Frontal tanks. We're getting reduction from Oberkommando des Heers, Heinz Guderian, but we're also getting reduction from bonuses Achtung Panzer. Virtually, that's just getting us down there. Now, which do we, well, maybe we sometimes should look down here. Tank Logistics, Raid Infantry. Okay, this is basically an organization bonus. This is tank supply use down, organization up, line assault artillery and line infantry support. Supply use down. Recovery rate, organization loss when moving is down. That's good. I think we're going to do this. And follow along with that. Okay, that's gotten rid of all of those bonuses there. Frontal tanks. Yeah, I went with the other one. Yeah, the hard and soft attack bonuses were really good, but it reduced breakthrough, I notice here, so I don't know. Now, unlock with at least 2 branches. Okay, so here we can come here and grab up CI3, which will help various formations here. Now, I'm surprised because, yeah, why this is not now doable. It was doable until I clicked that one. Tier 2 doctrine becomes unlocked after at least 2 branches of Tier 1 doctrine are finished. It looks like I've finished infantry. It looks like I've finished tanks. Country-specific deep battle doctrine, overwhelming firepower. British professionalism. Is this a Bushido? But I can research these. These look like it's a looks like it's a flaw. Shouldn't be able to do that, I think. Or maybe that's changing it off of Germany. Some things I just don't get. I understand that. And some things I'm questioning here. I still don't understand why I can't get these. Sherpa Cough Group, those are obviously Germany's main push here. Okay, well. Defense and depth versus elastic defense. I would think this would be Germany. Okay. I guess that's just because the bonuses went away, so these are all now removed. I think that was a flaw over here, because this is what because it says country specific, and I get that. But this sort of looks like two branches are finished, then this, or maybe they think we need to do here as well. It's not a flaw, it's just game limitations. They have to be there if they're only supposed to be country specific. Okay, well. So do we want to do integrated support? Auxiliary support and line soft attack +10. Enables breakthrough and blitz. This also enables breakthrough and blitz, but recovery rate and defense. I want to go integrated support, but I like its capabilities better. Well, there we go. Okay. There we go. We like that. Now, I know we haven't, well, actually, you know, I'm going to wait a little bit because we got a few more. Well, the other thing I want to do is, no, we are catching up with production. So look over here at production. We are producing, or we go over to like ×5 instead of opening a new line. For rifles, almost 50 a day. Machine guns, support equipment. Now, it's fine to overproduce something like support equipment early on. Well, in a way, yes, I am suggesting to have a good reserve of things like support equipment, infantry weapons, artillery, things like that. Keep your units more fully equipped is definitely a benefit over any sort of negative. Now, but if you are a bit out of balance, shall we say, that's maybe what I'm referring more to, is like you have twice as much support equipment as you need in comparison to rifles or something. Well, fine. You just later on cut back on creating support equipment and shift over to rifles. And we probably are. We had been at a massive deficit of support equipment. Now we're almost have the same amount of bonuses. So what I'm going to do here is get rid of a full production line, or full production set of 5, and go over here and basically move that over to rifles to have hopefully a better balance, and which will allow me to okay, there we go. Infantry division. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, one thing, this has a lot of artillery in here, but doesn't have that. Now we could do that, and we need more. So, and I knew that. So we're not going to do that just yet. So but we are going to do is train. Let's get 3 training up here. Set location somewhere sort of in the east. There we go. Now hopefully our production lines will be able to keep up with as we continue to expand them and actually overtake our training schedule. And hello, Geonosis. How you doing? Yeah, this mod, I'm really liking the mod. It's been a long time since I've touched black ice. In fact, it's been since before railways were introduced with black ice, and my rage quit, if you remember, those that have been around, was Russian supply effects, which I effing hope they are 100% removed in black ice. I really hope that. Where before I was asking for a mitigation, but now that we actually have proper supply dealing with both, railway supply to supply, supply depots or hubs, whatever you want to call them, and then the general infrastructure following on from there, you no longer need specialized supply mode for anything in Russia. Now, you can have weather effects, winter, deep snow, or, Rasputin or Rasputi or whatever, the mud season. I saw some recent videos in Ukraine, and so you can have, weather effects in certain regions that happen certain times of the year that affect supply, including, monsoons down in here that shut down a lot of operations. So you can definitely have weather effects, but you should no longer have special effects for Russia. It's just now comes down to levels of infrastructure, whether it should be raised or lowered in a particular region for Russia, or anything else, because it's no longer anything special about Russia with these with railways and whatnot added. How's combat with this mod? It's always been my issue with Hoi 4 versus industry and statecraft. Well, now, if you're talking about the AI element of combat, it's still fair at best, but I did recently, I lost a panzer division in Spain. I literally pushed into here, pushed to here, and this was open. I pushed down, and Franco, who's commanding, obviously, or whoever, the different generals here, commanding the Spanish nationalists, did not follow in quickly enough, and I got my panzer division cut off and destroyed. And for some reason, because this area has foreign claims on it, the AI is, and this is just, I've noticed really with this mod, is wanting to guard that bit of coast, which I think is odd. And hello, Arno. Did I already say that? I'm not sure. Getting distracted here. So the AI is doing fair, but that's not maybe terrible. It's just that for actual the way the combat works, I don't know. Well, see, I've only so far with this mod and this version of Hoi 4. And this is as far as I've gotten into it. Oh, and we want to come up here. And another thing that, again, there's two good ways of doing this. Is either the sort of standard black ice way of developing one of these aircraft, in that you develop modules. so that you can say, oh, well, hey, even though I'm playing as Japan, I don't really care about range. Range of operations are not my primary concern. So yeah, weight does matter on aircraft, but I want to have self-sealing fuel tanks. I want to have, some sort of armor kit for the, the pilot of a fighter, that type of thing. Because remember, they were raiding down into the Philippines. I'm not exactly sure if it was all the way to Manila or not. Sorry, I don't remember everything. But they were flying fighters out of Taiwan, flying all the way down, escorting bombers coming out of Taiwan, all the way down to raid the Philippines. And the Americans, because the fighters were showing up, were presuming that there were carriers in the region of some sort. So they may have known the big bombers weren't coming off of carriers, but they had that type of range on them. And there were certain doctrinal expectations of the fighting warfare that the Japanese had, that they thought armor was superfluous, nice to have, but maybe better not to have it and have higher fighter performance. The problem with that ended up being because the whole idea that they can be that much faster than the enemy fighters, just adding more weight slows it down. Well, the Americans ended up doing both, ended up having even a faster fighter and armored one. Just engines got bigger, planes got bigger. Operations always felt clumsy in 4. Yeah, well, I don't... If you're talking about planning operations and, drawing battle lines, I don't do that. The AI muffs all that up. So what I do like is that what they've done here is gone in and whether you think this is levels of agility, levels of air defense, and all that kind of stuff, they've worked to try to tailor a 109 here for Germany, and done that for at least the majors. So I micromanage my games here, for better or for worse. And I like I say, I haven't played recently, but it always seems like whenever I draw battle lines and have panzers pushing down it ends up becoming a broad front. It seems to lose the concentration of forces. Okay, we could do that, but that's going to be a year approximately. That's going to be more than a year, so we might as well wait until 38 because we don't need that today. Those will be nice to have, but I think I want to get some better bombers into production. Oh, you're driving. Let's put you on trains. There we go. Put you on trains. Get you. Which totally wipes out your organization, but gets you there faster and hopefully get you grading sooner. Okay, well, I still think my original plan, though I pushed it too fast. Okay, there we go. Let's see if Franco's forces will join in my attack here. There's some decision that I should be looking at. Political power influence gain. And we could do that. try to keep trade with the Dutch, however much that we want to do it. Develop the coastline. We'll add building slots. We could do that. 10 factories though for just 60 days, but still 10 factories. How are we for needing? Okay, we're in the green for everything up here. That's good. Return foreign trading staff. Okay. Now this doesn't cost us anything apparently, which is cool. Completed the Condor Legion. We'll gain 50 army experience and one-time cost reduction infantry doctrine. There we go. Send equipment shipments. Okay, so will be 10,000 Gewehr 98s. U.S. oil purchases. Well, I don't think we're going to purchase oil because we're almost filled up on oil or fuel. Yes, there is a lot of flavor. They, or because it is now they, but Uncharted I've talked to a bit. Do not want to go into the detail flavor that Black Ice does, but just try to, shall we say, hit the essential elements. Bomber evolution, good. Okay, well, again, those who watched me, oh, let's zoom out. It's getting noisy here. Let's zoom out. Know that I want to focus here and zip through much, at least those that by either condition or time clock would get done first. Steel mills, but I don't think I need steel right now. We will, but see now military factories 35 days, so this increased fatigue by just 2%, but not to worry too much about it, they say. I probably worry more than I should. Computing radar research, establish combined arms. So I sometimes don't necessarily push here as hard as I should. Okay, dockyards, that would be good to get because even though we're not going to be running a huge naval war, all those naval dockyards would help, like sub production and some destroyers. That's like post Spain. West Wall. Got to do that before Oslo, which is coming soon. Okay, let's start down naval rearmament for 21 days. Rail issues aside, is Black Ice too? I like Black Ice. When I'm talking about Black Ice for Hearts of Iron 4, just clarity here. It could be maybe a bit more detailed than it needs to be, but I don't know that that's a bad thing. That's sort of maybe based upon players. So I don't want to talk people away from it. And I just know several videos got really high views because I was ranting and raving and whatnot. And I wasn't doing it for dramatic effect. I was going, what the fuck are you doing? Kind of thing. And so it's all sort of, shall we say, I don't know how much frigates I want to do. Truly or more. Oh, wait a minute. What year is this? This is 37 through here. Okay, good. I want to get better submarines going. That was the big thing was the invasion effects. Well, I don't know how much I want to worry about that. I don't know. I've not played it. I really, quite honestly, haven't looked. And for better or for worse, I'm playing this now. When I was last looking at them, which was sometime months ago last year, obviously now, but they hadn't implemented railways into Black Ice yet, into the thing. So I don't know what the state is currently. I really, quite honestly, have not played a good game of Invade the Soviet Union yet with the railways to see how they work. Okay, well, what I wanted to do also was, well, let's zoom out, grab that. Let's create Reich now. Maybe he's a good one to sit along the front line. Bosch, don't know Bosch well, whatever. And yeah, some of these guys I've learned more about them because of Black Ice and, you know, for the Hearts of Iron 3 with all the generals in it. Schroner, yeah. Infantry General Artillery Officer, that looks like a decent one to hold the front lines. Hello, Tom Gaming, how you doing? No, we're just getting started here, both in today's stream as well as generally with the. Okay, let's set up a East Prussia command. Now we want this, well, Falkenhorst, he's going to be mostly a infantry type, so let's, gotta hate, whoever did this color palette, some things bother me, people. Some things just bother me. And you know, do I keep fighting this? Because yes, I can come in here, and yes, I can try to, you know, somehow create a more, I don't know, military type color like that, and go, okay, good and fine. See that to me, I'm not saying that looks, you know, more for the Jaeger divisions, but whatever, you know. And we could go, I don't know, something a bit more like this for, well, because we have the cavalry division there. Well, maybe a little bit more. And I'm not the best one for creating color palettes. There we go, something like that. But we could have come up with a much more military color palette as standard. But the big problem is once I do that, I don't want the Panzer Division in here. Once I do that and I create a new one, they're just going to grab the same goddamn color again, and I have to keep coming back. Yes, we are playing the World Ablaze mod, Tom Gaming. So that is, Now, yes, I'm influenced by Hearts of Iron 3, in which I expect for these elements here. Let's go with a higher ranking overall commander. To be 0 through 5 is what I expect this to have a range of commanders or skill levels, shall we say. And I expect the standard German general to start out with a 3 as a basic skill level. I don't know, because you have to understand, and I know people want me to play the game more than lecture, but sometimes I just feel like lecturing, sorry. For most of the nations, every single, or just about every general, were veterans of World War I for most of the nations. We can talk about major examples that don't have that. Japan, most generals were not veterans of World War I, though by the time World War II hits for Japan, going with the war with the Allies, they of course have been war for a few years in China. So their generals were sort of by the time they're fighting, invading Singapore, invading the Philippines, doing all of that stuff, at the beginning of that war, they were the higher level officers were proper veterans of campaigns, so they weren't fresh. So virtually all of these generals, I know some of their biographies. Just here, oh, that's Kurt Student. No, I thought I saw, maybe I just flashed on the Luftwaffe uniform. Yeah, maybe they did. But Kesselring, who was a Luftwaffe general. Oh, here it is, Kesselring. Okay, yeah, Kesselring. He was an artillery, German army artillery officer in World War I. So we're talking about experienced officers here. So, and you get maybe towards the end of World War II that you're getting a few people promoted into generalship late in the war that weren't veterans of World War I, but by that point they're veterans of World War II, if you will. So one of the ways I would distinguish the differences between nations is the base level of command. That's one of the ways. And Germany, because I rate it highly overall, I would have the standard officer starting as 3. That would be my standard. Where France, a 1 or a 2. Americans, basically a 3. In English, basically a 3. The Italians, a 1 or a 2. The Soviets, because the Soviets had decimated their officer corps from World War I in the Russian Revolution, although much of the Soviet officer corps by World War II are so the traditions, the Americans do have a bit of a traditions going back with their officer corps, but the English super have traditions of training, and the Germans and the French, the École Militaire in France, training corps, was excellent. It's just so out of touch, out of date by the time World War II has happened. Is why I would rate them down at a 1 or a 2, more like 2s. But Russia's decimated that, but they sort of have veterancy from the Russian Civil War, but then you also have it decimated by purges and then hampered by, which is whether you want to give them the standard skill level or throw on some sort of commissar effect that hampers their command abilities. So this is just one way I would, in broad brushes, influence various nations here. Okay, well, we're talking about the North Front here, not Manstein. Okay, not Kleist. Hopefully we'll get a bunch of good, we'll give them to this guy here. And hello, amazing Rudiger, how you doing? Hello again. Yes, Deutsches Uber, yes, Germany above all. So, yeah, that's how I would sort of want to distinguish functionality of different nations. Now I'm going to have to change some of this up. Adolf Strauss. I don't know him, but we'll put him in charge of there. And then we're going to grab here. And we're going to create another one, and then we're going to click here and unassign that division. But we're going to keep these guys here. No. Just meant to click on you, generally speaking. And I saw a Dietel here. And where's Dietel? Dietel. And yes, chat taught me how to pronounce his name. And I'm getting pretty close with Dietel. Sort of like Beetle. Where? Sometimes maybe I'm just scrolling past right now. Kleist, there he is. And what's his skill level here? 2? I would do it a bit higher. Lecture over, your homework finish, both worth of books and right. Okay. Like your presentation, you tell historical. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you very much for the feedback. And so, yeah, so okay, so we have all of these, and at least this is here, and maybe I should make a thinking, I don't know, because my understanding, again, I have not, I could promote him up, but the idea is that he's just a generic officer that, depending upon his campaign that he leads, which of course is going to be in a mountain division, so he may end up fighting a lot in mountains and get certain skill traits. Is it a big deal that it's not Dietel in charge of whatever brigade, the Gerbs brigade. I think Dietel is an Austrian. I don't remember everyone's biography. Sorry, people, if you expect me to. I think he shows up later. But, I respect that they've given us this much. I respect that they believe, and I think rightly so for most players, that most players don't want to go picking each little divisional commander. I like to when it's important, but I don't know. I don't know. Now I wish you could at least maybe come in and edit this. Have several options for photos or images and be able to change the name. So if I wanted to come into, what is this? The 2nd Panzer Division. And I wanted to change it to the historical commander of the 2nd Panzer Division or something. If I was that anal retentive. Now, for some divisions, and I would also like to be able to, okay, we're going to move, okay, we're going to move him up to there out of that, and we're going to, damn, I've been playing more Hui, no, here, just that. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Up to the top. Yeah, Lee would be good. He's going to be our West Front commander. Okay, List will be fine. And he'll be also down here. So... this no, there, right, okay, yeah, there we go. Let's see. If you drop soap on the floor, is the floor clean or is the soap dirty? I don't know. Be careful in how you pick it up. YOLO Sleazy, how you doing? This mod is a total conversion mod to make the game more historical. Shall we say. More historically accurate. Now let's give this to Falkenhurst, because he was the commander who went into Norway, and this is sort of the proto-Norway force here. So, and of course we're playing as Germany's high best judge a mod. And so it's meant to try to make the game more realistic, more historically based. So now, okay, the AI has moved away the occupation force or coastal defense force or whatever it thought it was doing up there. Okay, and yeah, we're going to go for the expanded naval dockyards. Might as well get that early, get that going. So I do recommend the mod, but I'm not saying it's for everyone. I'm saying I like it. It is mature enough, not to say it's like without fault. No, it has faults, but it's getting good. The Netherlands has a lake zoomed in, but it disappears when zoomed out. Well, I think it's just the colors is filling in, for that. I think if we go here, I don't know. It's not really zoomed. Okay, now with the air, you don't see it here. But I think it's just this brownish color here. You can sort of see that, yeah. And it isn't a lake. But talk to my friend Arno here. They're filling this in. The Dutch are stealing the sea or something, making more land, however you want to say that. Okay, let's look at logistics here. We could use more artillery, especially field artillery, but also heavy artillery. So let's come over here. Let's see, we've got one more, but we'll give 2 more slots to artillery once we get it. Right, well, let's come way here, out of reach of bombers from the west, and put in another factory here. And yes, you can see that they are doing things with the map. So now only this one province actually connects north to Denmark. I would love somebody to do a mix of this map and the Hoi 3 map. That would be best. If anybody really wants to work on the map, oh man, that would be so great. Not just tweak it, make it right. How are we doing down here? We're not spending, I didn't, okay. It was part of the sea, but do they dike made now big as like it went from salt water to the other, is it fresh water? Okay. So it's getting enough water coming in from the Rhine that it's pushed out the salt water. Okay. How interesting, Arno. I did not know that. Even if it's still tidal, because I know some tidal rivers and estuaries are fresh water just because, you know, especially like, I don't know if it's because the Amazon and whatnot, but one of the biggest water mover rivers in the world is the Mississippi, of course. And that's why Louisiana basically exists, because this is all sedimentary. This is not, you know, natural formations here. That even though that some of this is, you know, goes up and down as the tides do, it's fresh water. Just it backs up to that. So, yeah. You know, there's some major Russian rivers. You got the Nile. You've got you know, the Ganges. You got the Yang. No, this is the river changed here. This I think is the Yangtze and the Mekong and whatnot. But yeah, the Mississippi is one of the bigger movers of. Okay, so we pushed in one province into there, push into that while these guys are weak here. Okay, agent forced into hiding. Okay, I'm not playing the spy game well. Playing it, but not playing it well. Okay, so we've got new bombers being developed. We could do patrol craft really quickly. That might be good. I like condors. We could do tactical bombers. 37. Well, right now we are doing some artillery support, so let's do that. Though imagine not living on a mountain range. Well, yeah, it is flat there. You know, I think and I'm right about like this picture of Florida, and I'm gonna hey Paul, no problem being late, just glad to have you here. Definitely want your input on things. I think it's something like there's no natural elevation above 12 feet or 3 meters approximately in this part of Florida. It is that flat. It's, you know, like 3 meters high or something is like the highest natural feature, you know, hill or rise or whatever else. Anything higher. I know I'm probably wrong in some detail, but it's some really low level thing like that. This whole area, there is, you know, it's not so much pancake, well, I guess you can sort of call it that, but flat, but it's just all right at sea level. So yeah, some people don't live, you know, in mountain ranges. Jet. I know you do. Well, sort of. You have to. You're sort of down here in the sort of the plains of here. But yeah. Dutch world problems. Yeah. Okay, we want to watch. Okay. So this time I'm not going to push in unless I get enough backup from, because I don't want to lose a second. One of 3 Panzer divisions lost. Oh boy, lots of tanks and other equipment lost. So I'm not going to do that. 3 meters above, yeah, height groundwater. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's yeah. Florida is flat. Now you also get well, that's Nebraska. Here's Kansas. You also get damn flat out here too. Or, you know, most of you can. Yeah, okay. You get down here a little bit hill. This is just now. This is well above sea level, but this is just pure flat plains as well. But yeah, no, Florida is flat, and that's why you get all the flooding and all of the hurricane problems down there, so deep inland, where, you know, right along the coast here, you know, places like Charleston, and yes, it is sort of a swampy mess down in Charleston, you will have, you know, problems, you know, whatnot, but with hurricanes coming in. But here it's just so bad because it's just so flat, where you get just, you know, you get just a little ways inland here. Oh yeah, you may have destruction in the idea, you know, the wind is hitting stuff and whatnot, but it's not destroying whole communities for the most part for hurricanes once you get a few miles inland. But Florida can be all the way across the state. Hello. Yeah, okay, you're back, Tom Gaming. Well, good. I don't know if Arno can deal with mountains well enough. Have you ever been to the mountains, Arno? Seriously, have you ever been to the mountains? Something that would actually be mountains. I just thought of that. I don't know if maybe it's inappropriate to ask you on stream, but... Because I've been to the Netherlands twice. I have not been to Norway, but I've been to the Netherlands twice. So I've been to flat places. Because I live right near the ocean. I would say practically not to get to the ocean, but to get to salt water, if you know it, sort of inland harbors around where I am. 5 or 6 stone throws. I'm literally that close. Or I used to live 1 stone. Literally, I could throw a stone from my home and go into the, you know, salt water. But I live close to the ocean here, but it's no, we'll start with the anti-common turn pack. Okay, well, we can build more ships. Now this may push us to need more steel. Okay, we are currently building, okay, May 28th. Okay, so we're just starting. So we're about 1 a month we're building a convoy. So that, and we currently have 113. I'm not saying that's enough. I don't know what enough is, but that's a bunch. We're building some destroyers, a full production line of destroyers, so that to try to protect from particularly submarines. We're not going to try to protect. Hey Arno, you didn't answer me. Well, maybe you're not going to. Oh, yeah, Arno, did you not hear? Have you ever been to the mountains? You can say I don't want to answer if you don't want to, but I'm just curious. So, I think submarines will be our next. have a... I don't know, I'm not going to worry about mine-laying submarines, so... And we have, well, we'll just throw one more factory in to use all of that up. Went up a hill. Okay, cool. A hill one time. Just wondered. So some of you Europeans got to take Arno into the mountains. Go visit Lum in Switzerland and have him take you up a mountain. But like I say, I live close to the ocean, but I live more than 3 meters above the sea and on more or less natural height. So when I lived right next to the sea, it was probably more than 3 meters from the sea level, so high tide level. Yeah, 12 feet. Maybe not quite 3 meters from high tide level, but getting there when I lived right next to it as a kid. But yeah, I live near the sea and don't have that sort of issue here. Okay, Chief of the Navy, theorist. Cruiser, submarine production costs down. That looks nice. Okay, we've already got that. Material designer. Production cost. Mauser, infantry equipment, production cost. Well, we're trying to get more artillery, so we're going to go with this. Well, some of California is having drowning or water flooding issues. I think it would be more Central California has had a major levee break or two, and I think some significant area are flooding. But where I specifically live, I actually sort of made sure that when I live in an apartment, but I did look for a place that was a little bit higher up than everywhere. It's actually sort of on a bit of a hill, and although sort of 2 blocks from me is a sort of a low spot that does drain out, but does flood a little bit when enough water flows there, creates puddles that could flow. I specifically picked a place that wasn't likely to flood so that things wouldn't be flooded, and I'm a bit of a collector of things, so I worry about my collections and wanting to preserve them. But yeah, California is not doing well when it comes to that right now. You got to remember, California is a big place. That's California. I think this map is a little inaccurate. France might be bigger than California, but not by a whole hell of a lot, quite honestly. I think the Americas are a bit off here for size comparisons. Not that it shouldn't be for the game, because nothing hardly happens in America or the Americas for this game. It's more of almost could be done as an off-map thing. There is a big... Yeah, we'll just do another military factory. Let's put this one where we're going to build fast over here. And we'll put a second one there. When we get... It's all climbing. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if we're going to go climbing up. I don't know what Glad Heppigan is, but I don't know if that's some little hill somewhere or if that is you know, the tallest mountain in Norway, and then my answer would be no. Walking up a hill and taking a look around, yeah, I could do that, but the tallest peak in Norway. No, thank you. I figure you got some tall peaks up there. I don't know how they compare to you know, American tall peaks, because America has some pretty damn you know, the Andes down here get a bit taller, and I think maybe Peru or somewhere where the Andes are the tallest get a bit taller than North American mountains, but the highest point in the continental, which the lower 48 in the continental United States, you add that in, is in California, and which is, it's sort of right around in here, and the lowest part in I think all of North America is Death Valley, and they can almost not quite see each other, but it's the Grand Teton, which just means big tits, is the tallest mountain, I believe, in North America, and it's up in Canada. Hello, OCB. This is Germany's fault. I regularly exposed to snow and thunderstorms. France is about 1.5. Okay, 1.4 times bigger than California. California is approximately. Okay, I believe you. I just don't have the stats. And yeah, I'm not surprised California or France is a bit bigger, but California is pretty damn huge. You know, so yeah, so 30%, 37%, yeah, bigger. I'll grant you, because I did think it would be a bit bigger, but not like double or triple the size, which it sort of kind of looks here on this map compared to, you know, if you compare that versus keep it roughly the same zoom in level here, you know, it's, yeah, it looks like double or more the size, but it's, and right now I would say outside of the Napoleonic era, you know, Napoleon and his whole thing, which of course included, they had integrated Belgium into France proper, and I think some more of the territories, not exactly sure, west of the Rhine, and maybe some more of the territories down in here. Outside of the Napoleonic era, I think France is at its largest extent that it has historically, and that's not counting the adding supposedly the Illyrian coast and other territories directly to France that Napoleon did. I'm not talking about French Empire or whatever, but directly France. And again, I'm not talking about over. I know Algiers was considered part of metropolitan France or whatever they wanted to say. I'm not talking about overseas type territories, you know, and I'm not talking, I know they still have Pacific Island possessions and whatnot. I'm just talking about sort of France proper, because yes, New France, you know, Louisiana, you know, all that out there. Now we're talking about, I think France is about its largest that it's ever been. Outside of Napoleonic, and I think larger than under Louis the 14th or Louis the 16th. So the geographical okay, let's take a quick look here. You know, the geographical map or acquisition. Okay, we want to grab this before I start doing Panzer technologies here. So yeah, we can do that next. So we're not going to research a tank just yet. Not to say that France, like, yay for World War II and being conquered and messed up or anything like that, but in the sort of post-war, I don't know, are we going to be doing much in the way with mines? There's some technologies that will help with that. We'll do that. A support vehicle like the Martyr. Well, again, Arno, this game is going down with historical models, so you can't quite do. You can do these, which will give you, a Panzerjäger 1 or a Grill, a Flak Panzer. Okay, a Martyr 2 here, so I got to get this. I got to get Panzer 2 Model D, and I get the Martyr 2. For some reason, again, this is, I mean, they may be doing something like, hey, because, they're forcing me to research the Panzer II Loesch, which the Germans did, to get the Martyr 3. But the Martyr 3, of course, was based on the 38T. Maybe it's just because, numbers of, they didn't want to make it ugly and stick another little patch. Or maybe you can't. I don't know. Don't know if you can't. I don't think these little things are have to be over the top of the square, but I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've been modding some of this. Yeah, so to get those, we got to get here, and it's timed, and and we also have Panzerjäger 1, so it's way too early for that. We could do the Bison or the Flak Panzer, but we'll see on that. Yep, we're still in 1937. And mentioning that because of talking, but we have been playing. We're going to end the episode, not the live stream, guys. So everyone live, continue hanging out. But those watching later on YouTube, thank you so much for making it this far into the video. Really do appreciate all of you. Hope I've earned you licking the like button. It's tasty. And I'm sure by now also you've subscribed. So I want to thank you. Please post your comments below. See you next time for more, yes, more hearts.